Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. Today we are taking a look at the world of LLMs, large language models, and those AI systems that are basically able to understand and generate human language. It's pretty crazy how far things have come just in the past few years. And we're going to be diving into a recent expert analysis that breaks down the top 10 LLMs of 2025. So get ready for some serious insights and, well, honestly, I think you're going to be blown away by some of the stuff we're going to talk about today. So first things first, what are we even dealing with here? Imagine AI that can write you a killer marketing campaign, code a website from scratch, or even come up with a poem on demand. That's the power of LLMs. And the cool thing is, there's not just one type of LLM out there. Each model that we're going to look at today has its own specialty, its own personality. So yeah, it's going to be a wild ride. We got to start with the big dog though, right? ChatGPT, from the geniuses over at OpenAI, still a major player in 2025. Remember back in the day when it used to like spit out those totally made up facts sometimes? Well, with the GPT 4.5 update, they fixed a lot of that. Gave it a major boost in understanding and reliability. But here's where it gets really cool. This latest version can now process both text and images, and it's constantly pulling information from the internet, so it's always up to date. Think about that for a second. You could ask it to analyze a news article and then like create a social media post about it in seconds. Pretty amazing, right? So of course, no AI is perfect. ChatGPT is kind of a VIP. You got to pay a subscription if you want to unlock its full potential. Plus, its code is locked down tight so other people can't really build on it. But hey, even rock stars have their downsides, right? Okay, so now let's switch gears and meet Claude. This one's from Anthropic. If ChatGPT is like the flashy artist, then Claude is more like the thoughtful scholar. This LLM is all about understanding and summarizing those really long, complicated texts. You know, the ones that most of us would rather avoid, like dense research papers or legal documents that would just like make your eyes glaze over. Imagine having an AI study buddy that actually like reads all the assigned material. That's basically Claude in a nutshell. But it's not just about reading. Claude has this new extended thinking mode that lets it actually tackle complex problems. It can reason things out almost like a human expert. And get this, it can process documents longer than most novels thanks to its absolutely massive memory. What really makes Claude stand out, though, is its focus on safety and alignment. It's been designed to be more human-like in its responses. It's almost like you're having a conversation with a really, really smart and understanding friend.
Okay, so now it's time to meet the speed demon of the LLM world. And that is Gemini, brought to you by Google and DeepMind. If you need answers like fast, this is your AI, think of it like Google search but on steroids. It's all about rapid processing and like seamlessly integrating with all things Google. The latest version, Gemini 2.0 Flash, twice as fast as before, and can now handle multiple languages like a champ. It's also become a bit of a specialist. It's gained a deeper understanding of specific fields like medicine and finance. So imagine getting instant expert-level answers on pretty much any topic. That's the power of Gemini. And because it's so deeply integrated with Google's whole ecosystem,
Gemini can do things like pull up relevant data while you're writing an email, or even create presentations for you. Talk about a productivity booster. Now, if you're not really a big Google user, Gemini might not be your thing. But for people who basically live in the Google world, it's like having an AI assistant that knows you inside and out. All right, let's move on to a bit of a newcomer, and this one has a bit more attitude. It's called Grok, and it's the brainchild of Elon Musk's X AI. This one is all about real-time information from X, which you might remember used to be called Twitter. So it's kind of like having an AI that's constantly plugged into that whole social media buzz, always ready with a witty comment or a snarky take on the latest trends. Now the newest version, Grok 3, has made some really big jumps in its reasoning abilities, and it can now process both text and images. It even has this new feature called Deep Search that basically lets it scan the entire internet for live data, not just what's happening on X. It's like having a friend who's like constantly scrolling through social media, but then also digs deeper to see what's really going on. Okay, now let's shift gears again. This time to an LLM that's all about community and collaboration. And that's LMA, developed by Meta. This one is the champion of open source LLMs, meaning its code is freely available for anyone to use, modify, and distribute. Think of it like the Linux of the LLM world. You know, it's like a community-driven project that's constantly being improved and adapted for new purposes. The latest update, Llama 3.3, is making waves because of its ability to handle both text and images, and its expanded memory for processing even larger chunks of information. And because it's open source, you can literally customize Llama to your heart's content. So if you've got some coding skills and a vision, you can shape this LLM to fit your exact needs. Now, this level of customization isn't really for everyone. Llama definitely needs some technical know-how. But for researchers and companies that want to build their own unique AI solutions, it's a real game changer. All right, ready for an LLM that's all about efficiency and speed? Meet Mistral. It's basically the minimalist of the AI world. It's designed to run super smooth on devices with limited resources, like smartphones or those little smart gadgets you might have around your home. The newest version is Mistral Small 3, and it is lean and mean, packing a real punch despite its small size. It's gotten a serious upgrade in terms of speed and reasoning abilities. And for those who need to process images, there's Pixtral Large, so that adds like another layer of capability. Think of Mistral like the Swiss Army knife of LLMs. Compact, versatile, and always ready to go. And guess what? It's also open source, which makes it a real favorite among developers that are working on these cutting-edge AI applications where every millisecond counts. We've covered a lot of ground already, but we're just getting started. Up next, we've got Quinn, the multilingual powerhouse from Alibaba. This one's a real rock star in Asian markets, especially when it comes to Chinese and English. So it's like having an AI that's not just fluent in multiple languages, but also really understands the cultural nuances that come with those languages. The latest version, Quinn 2.5 Max, has been trained on a massive amount of data, which makes it super accurate and fluent. It's being used all over Asia for things like chatbots, customer service education, and even entertainment. It's a perfect example of how AI is being used to connect people across language barriers and cultures. All right, so now let's dive into an LLM that's basically like a superpowered brain, and that's DeepSeek. This one is like all about logic and problem solving. If you need an AI to crunch numbers, debug code, or break down some crazy complex scientific concept, DeepSeek is like your go-to guy. It's like having Sherlock Holmes as your own personal AI tutor. You're using deduction and reasoning to crack even the toughest cases. And DeepSeek R1, the latest version, has this really unique architecture. It's like a whole team of AI experts working together. Kind of like an AI think tank, but like right there at your fingertips. And get this, DeepSeek is also open source. So you can actually see how it's getting to its conclusions, which is a huge plus for scientists and researchers who need to be absolutely sure that their results are accurate and, reproducible. Of course, all this brain power needs some serious computing muscle. So DeepSeek R1 isn't something you can just run on your everyday laptop. But hey, for tackling those really super complex problems, it's got to be worth it, right? Okay, so let's move on to an LLM that's all business. And that is Cohere. If you're like drowning in paperwork and you're just struggling to keep up with all the information overload out there, Cohere is here to save the day. It's built specifically for business tasks like analyzing documents, summarizing reports, and like automating all those tedious workflows that just eat up all your time. Imagine having an AI assistant that can handle all the boring stuff so you can focus on the big picture. That's Cohere in a nutshell. The latest model is Command X, and it is a beast when it comes to handling like complex business data. It can process huge reports, lengthy contracts, even like entire books without even breaking a sweat. But here's what really sets Cohere apart. It's super focused on security and privacy, offering these really cool ways to keep your sensitive business data locked down tight, which is a big deal for industries like finance, healthcare, and law, where confidentiality is everything. So if you're looking for an AI that can boost your productivity without you having to sacrifice security, Cohere is definitely worth looking into. And for our final LLM, we've got something that's really unique, and it's called Perplexity AI. Just imagine having a conversation with an AI that's like constantly connected to the whole internet. Ready to answer any question you throw at it with facts and like real-time insights. That's Perplexity AI in action. But it gets even better. Perplexity AI actually gives you citations for all of its answers, so you can actually see where that information is coming from. Talk about transparency. It's like having a personal research assistant who not only like finds the answers, but also shows you their work. Perplexity AI has been getting smarter and smarter too, and its new deep research mode lets it handle even more complex questions. And it's gotten so much better at understanding what you really mean, even if you don't like phrase your question perfectly. It's a great example of how AI is moving beyond just like simple question and answer systems and becoming more like a research partner. Someone you can really bounce ideas off of. So there you have it, a whirlwind tour of the top 10 LLMs that are shaping the world in 2025. It's pretty mind-blowing to see how far AI has come, right? But before you run off and start building your own AI army, let's just take a second to reflect on what we've learned. First off, the world of LLMs is more diverse than ever. It's not just about raw power anymore. It's about finding the right tool for the job. Whether you need an AI that's creative, analytical, super focused on security, or lightning fast, there's an LLM out there that's perfect for you. And remember, these AI advancements are happening at warp speed. What's cutting edge today could be old news tomorrow. So if you want to stay ahead of the curve, you got to keep learning, keep experimenting, and most importantly, keep an open mind. Now, I know what you're thinking. All this talk about AI is really cool and all, but how does it actually affect me? Well, get ready to have your mind blown. Because LLMs are already changing the way we work, learn, and even how we have fun. Think about it. They can automate boring tasks, give you personalized recommendations, and even help you create amazing art and music. And as LLMs continue to evolve, who knows what incredible things they'll be able to do. Maybe they'll help us solve some of the world's biggest problems, or even unlock these whole new levels of human creativity. But before we get too carried away with all the possibilities,
Let's take a step back and remember something really important. LLMs are tools, incredibly powerful tools, but still just tools. And like any tool, they can be used for good or for bad. It's up to us, the humans behind these technologies, to use them wisely and responsibly. We need to have those tough conversations about ethics and make sure AI benefits everyone, not just a select few. So as we wrap up this deep dive into the top 10 LLMs of 2025, I want to leave you with a challenge. Don't just be a passive observer in this whole AI revolution. Dive in, explore, ask questions, and be a part of the conversation. The future is being shaped right now, and your voice matters. Okay, so let's bring it all home. We've gone through like a whole lineup of LLMs, each one with its own strengths and little quirks. It's kind of like we just went on this brain-boosting tour of the whole AI world. But as we wrap up, I want to highlight something that we touched on earlier, and that's just like the sheer variety of these models and why that is so exciting. It's not just about like which LLM is the biggest or the smartest anymore. It's really more about finding the perfect one for what you need to get done. You know,
like remember DeepSeek, the logic whiz, perfect for like those super brain-bending problems that need a really clear step-by-step solution. And then we've got Cohere, the security-focused pro, ideal for businesses that have to deal with like lots of sensitive data. It's almost like having a specialized tool for every single AI job. And let's not forget about those open source heroes like Llama and Mistral, giving developers and researchers that power to like build custom AI solutions that are just perfectly tailored to their needs. It's like having a blueprint for an LLM and then being able to like tweak it and create exactly what you need. The possibilities are practically endless. So now I know what you're thinking. All this talk about the future is super fascinating. But like, where is this all heading? What does the future actually hold for LLMs? Well, buckle up because things are about to get even more mind-blowing. Imagine a world where your smartphone can translate conversations in real time, allowing you to connect with people from literally all over the globe, just effortlessly. Or picture your car being able to understand your voice commands and navigate you to your destination without you even having to lift a finger. LLMs could completely revolutionize everything, from education to healthcare, even the way we create art and music. It's like we're standing right on the edge of a whole new era powered by AI. But hold on a second. Before we get too carried away with all these visions of a futuristic AI utopia, let's just keep things real for a minute.
LLMs are still kind of in the early stages. There's just so much more for us to learn and so much potential still waiting to be unlocked. That's why all this ongoing research and development is so important. And as we explore these like new frontiers, we can't forget about the ethical questions that come with such a powerful technology. It's a responsibility that all of us share. So as we wrap up this deep dive into the top 10 LLMs of 2025, I want to leave you with just a couple of key takeaways. First, remember that the world of AI is changing faster than ever. What's like super cutting edge today might be old news by tomorrow. So stay curious, keep learning, and don't be afraid to try new things. Second, don't just sit back and watch this whole AI revolution happen. Be an active participant.
Ask questions, explore different LLMs, and share your own thoughts and ideas. The future of AI is being shaped literally right now, and your voice really does matter. And finally, as we navigate this whole exciting new world of AI, let's do it with a real sense of responsibility and this like commitment to using this technology for good. After all, LLMs are tools, and it's up to us to make sure we're using them the right way. Well, that's it for our deep dive into the top 10 LLMs of 2025. I hope you found this whole journey as fascinating as I did. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.